this just really came to my spirit really quickly. God is saying that somebody, me and you, needs to open up their eyes and see, and well, not even see. You know that it's happening, whatever it is, and I don't know about you. I don't know what it is for me. I have no idea. I think I do, but I really don't. Only God knows. Only time will tell. But you need to open up your eyes. Yesterday, this came to me, something that I had said in one of my videos in the past. I said that looking at the goodness of God or focusing on the goodness of God too long is like focusing on the sun or staring at the sun for too long. No matter how bad you might try or might want to, you just simply cannot. And I know if this video is for you, you have found yourself in a place where you are just kind of walking around numb, acting like you don't know that things are about to change. And it's crazy because you have no room to act like things are not about to change. Everything in your being, everything in your body knows that things are about to completely change in your life. Some of us have not truly opened up our eyes and looked at what God is doing out of fear. Some of us out of unworthiness, feeling unqualified, feeling like we don't amount to much. And some of us simply overwhelmed by the idea of what God has been speaking truly finally coming to pass. Those things that we have dreamt about, cried about, talked about, told everybody about, then kept a secret from everybody. Those things that we wrote down, those things that we spoke over ourselves, those things that we looked at pictures of online all day long, saved it as a screensaver, are now coming to pass, are now happening, and not just happening, but happening in the blink of an eye. And I wish I was making this video with some further instruction, with some tips or, some things that God is saying to do to help with this feeling in the pit of your spirit that you just cannot shake, that you just cannot get rid of, that you just cannot seem to run away from. But the only thing that I can say is for you to continue to brace yourself while simultaneously remaining open, while simultaneously keeping your hands open. But how does that work? Because I know a lot of us are already doing that currently. So if that's confirmation to you, please know that God is saying, continue to push forward, continue to strive forward, continue to push to the other side. I know it's tiring. I know you're worn out. I know you're resting, but at the same time, things are not making sense. Certain things are recalibrating. Other things are restoring. Other things are refreshing. Other things are completely depleted still. And everything just seems completely out of chaos, completely out of whack. You kind of feel like you're all over the place. Your mind is all over the place. But at the same time, you know that this is not warfare. At the same time, you know that things are only falling all together. And for a lot of us, we are beginning to now see it. And for a lot of us, this has been the moment that we've been waiting on, finally being able to just stand in the fact that it's happening literally now, not just figuratively anymore, not just in the spirit realm, but it's actually happening. And now that that moment is finally here, it's terrifying, but in a good way, but then not in a good way, then in a fearful way, but then not in a fearful way, then it's confusing, then it makes total sense, then you find yourself praising, and now you're sad, just not knowing what to think. Well, overall, you feel fear. Overall, you feel a sense of sadness. Overall, you feel a sense of unease. Overall, you feel a sense of tension, a sense of heaviness, but a different type of heaviness that you're unfamiliar with. Now you feel the heaviness of the blessing. Now you feel the heaviness of what's actually on the other side of your breakthrough. And it's scary, because what is that? Why I can't breathe? Why is my chest so tight? Why I'm having a hard time falling asleep at night? Then why I want to sleep too much? Then why the minute that I feel like, okay, I'm at peace, I'm comfortable, something comes over me and says, nah, you should be scared. Nah, you need to be scared. Nah, if you knew what was truly about to hit you, you would be terrified. And this goes back to what I said. I wish that God was coming through with further instruction, divine instruction. But the only thing that God is saying, the only thing that I keep feeling in my spirit is to open up your eyes. Open your eyes. Open up your natural eyes, but also open up your spiritual eyes. It's time to truly shift from believing to seeing in the spirit before it gets here, before it arrives. It's time to truly stand on the things that God has been promising you and make those things further tangible for you, and make those things further tangible to your spirit, to your mind. Because some of us took another look at the sun and we grew afraid. Some of us took another look at the sun and we didn't know what to think. We didn't know what to make out of what we were looking at. But that is the true goodness of God. And when you truly take a minute to look back on what you have been through, especially in the near past, you can piece together how God has been pruning you in order for you to become who you are today, in order to receive what you are now receiving. Now all those moments that made completely no sense at all make absolute sense. We say God is good, God is good, God is good. But so many people truly have never seen the goodness of God. The goodness of God is not always cute. The goodness of God is not always comfortable. The goodness of God does not always even make sense. The goodness of God doesn't even always feel good. But we've reached a point where we are forced to open up our eyes, where we are forced to set our eyes on the goodness of God, where we are forced to set our eyes upon the sun. Uncomfortable or not, afraid or not, confused or not. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, you don't know exactly what God is doing, let alone how he's going to do it. But you know that God is going to do something, and that's all that matters. But you know that you've been believing, that you've been standing on what God gave you, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else is seeing. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what anybody else's progress looks like. It doesn't matter if anybody else can see your progress. It doesn't matter if you can't fit your walk into other people's walk around you. It doesn't matter if you seem to have your own thing going on with the Lord, just you and him. You do. This thing is personal between you and God. This recompense is personal. This restoration is personal. My God, this new beginning is personal. This new life is personal. Yeah, you feel afraid because if I'm being honest, you are about to die. Something new is being born. Yeah, you're scared. Yeah, you're fearful. Yeah, you're sad. Yeah, you're borderline depressed. What is this? I don't have no reason to be sad. It just came over me. Why I'm feeling sad? Yeah, because you are about to die. Because everything that you're looking at right now is about to die. Because everything that you're experiencing right now is coming to an end. New life is beginning. New life is here. Oh, because you thought God was just sitting up talking? You thought that God was just sitting up sending you words, giving you words, sending you dreams just to be doing something? Just because he was bored? He could have sent that to somebody else. He could have said that to somebody else. He could have spoke that over somebody else. He could have kept his mouth shut. But everything that God has spoken over you shall come to pass. Everything that God has spoken over you shall spring forth, and spring forth quickly, with tenacity, with boldness, with confidence. Open up your eyes. Open up your eyes. And I feel on my spirit right now, for a lot of you who are feeling sad, who are feeling down, who can't seem to shake this bit of truly sadness. The sadness originates from fear. And the fear is the fear of the unknown. The more the enemy gets you to look to a small, tedious problem, the more the enemy gets you to put your focus, put your mindset on anything outside of what God is immediately doing in your life, the more he can then change that fear into sadness. And if you're sad, you're spiritually depleted. And if you're spiritually depleted, you're going to end up being depressed. You're going to end up being oppressed. However, at the same time, there isn't much room for that anymore, because you know what you're looking at. You know what you can see. You know what you can feel. You may not can't see with the natural eye something tangible, but at the same time, through your natural eye, you can still see in the spirit that things are different, that things are changing, that things are happening daily. It's no longer just behind the scenes. It's front row and center. It's happening. There is no denying that it's happening. But although, yes, God needs you to stand. Although, yes, you need to have faith. Although, yes, God is going to do it whether you're sad, down, tired, worn out, stressed out, or not. Don't let the enemy steal your praise in this time. Don't let the enemy steal your praise for these last few days. Don't let the enemy steal your praise for these last few moments. Don't let the enemy steal your praise for these last few minutes. Don't let the enemy steal your joy. Don't let the enemy steal your confidence. Don't let the enemy steal your boldness. Don't let the enemy steal your happiness. Don't let the enemy start to make you feel all nostalgic. Don't let the enemy begin to make you feel all melancholy. Why are you thinking about the past? Why are you dreading the past? Why are you mourning the past? Why are you sad about what you're leaving behind when you didn't even want it, when you don't want it? Why are you looking back when you should just look forward? And I just felt over my spirit, well, a lot of us aren't looking forward because we're afraid. And so that forces us to keep looking back at junk, looking back at the dead things, ruminating on the dead things, whether that's consciously, subconsciously, or both. It's time to turn around. It's time to open up your eyes. God is doing a new thing. God has done a new thing.